Hey TechKnowStuds, and when I say studs, I mean both students and you are awesome. Thanks for joining me in these videos. In this module, we're gonna get into dynamic routing protocols. When it comes to our static routes, it serves a great purpose, and we're probably gonna have some static routes within our network, at least a default static route. However, it can be really hard to manage static routes and they're not self-healing. That is, if we have a complex network, then can you imagine setting up all of these static routes on all of these devices? It could become very difficult to do. Plus, if a link goes down, it won't automatically find a new route to certain networks. And so that can be problematic. Well, that's where a dynamic routing protocol comes into play. A dynamic routing protocol we would set up on all of the routers within our network, and then it starts communicating all of these different routes amongst the routers. And now the routers know where all of the different networks are, and so it can start sending traffic to those different networks. So let's get into a dynamic routing protocol and what it looks like. We're gonna kick this module off getting into dynamic routing protocols, what they are and what they look like, and then we'll talk about some different types of dynamic routing protocols. And then we'll start configuring our network with RIP. Now, you're not necessarily going to be tested on RIP or Routing Information Protocol. You might have a couple questions with that or a couple questions around EIGRP, but really this is just setting foundational knowledge of how these dynamic routing protocols work. And then we are going to take a look at RIP and configure RIP because it's a much more simplistic routing protocol than OSPF, which is going to be what you're mainly going to be tested on when it comes to your CCNA exam. But by looking at RIP, we start understanding dynamic routing protocols better, so that way we'll start applying those concepts then when we get into OSPF, and you can see some of the differences between RIP and OSPF.